Hello dear students, please do join our live session so that we can start the live. Please do hurry and join the live session. Please do hurry and join the live class so that we can start the live session. Please do hurry. Before we dive into the today's session, make sure to subscribe our YouTube channel Edwins if you have not already. And one important announcement for the class 10th students who have not yet purchased our premium version, please do and purchase it so that you can get the unlimited study materials, mock test series and such informative live classes and videos. Please do hurry and join so that we can start the live class. A very good evening to all of you and welcome to the another live class of Edwins. Today we will discuss about the locomotion in animals. So, what is the locomotion? Locomotion is the changes of place. If here is an organism, it change its place and go to another place. This is the change of place is known as locomotion. And what is movement? If I stay here and move the different parts or organs of an organism, this is called movement. So this is the basic difference between locomotion and movement. So why locomotion is important for the animals? The locomotion, importance of locomotion. What is the importance? First, of course, for the food. We know that animals are heterotrophs. Most of the animals are heterotrophs. What it means? It means the heterotrophic organisms or heterotrophs depend on others for the food, and all the animals or heterotrophic organisms are depend on directly or indirectly to the plants. So they cannot not prepare their food. Okay, so they are heterotrophs. So the organisms are heterotrophs, so they need to move or locomote them for the searching of food. Like if a tiger is hungry, so it have to be move for the food, like it consume the deer, goat, etc. So they have to move to the another place for the food. This is the one importance. Second one is the escape from the predator. What it's mean? In previous example, I have told that the tiger moves to the food in search of food to the deer or the goat. So this goat or deer not present at a place for the tiger to predate them. So they will move for their survival. They will also move for their survival. So escape from the predator is the second advantage or second importance of the locomotion. The third one is the dispersal. What is dispersal? Dispersal is the scattering or moving from one place to other. Third one is the dispersal. What is dispersal? Moving in search of better habitat. In search of better habitat. So what is the example? That elephants move from the drought place. So where the droughts, no food, this is actually for the movement of in searching of food. Where the droughts occurs, there have no food, so elephants move from the drought places to the other places where the food is present. Now the fourth one is the for breeding. What is the importance of breeding? Of course, the flowing of gene. Okay, so and continuity of life. So this is the importance of breeding. So for the breeding or for the better place of breeding, the organisms, the animals are moved. The fifth one is the for better habitat. This is as like as it is, but slightly different, like for the better birthplace. Like the cats, when the kitten are given birth by the mother cat, it will search for a safe place, or in case of dogs, they found a safe place for their offsprings. So for the better habitat. And the sixth one is the for seasonal migration. What is the seasonal migration? We often observed in the time of winter that the birds from the polar region migrate to the different places of equator or temperate region. Okay, so this is the importance, these all are the importance of the locomotion in animal. So next, discuss about the different types of locomotion in animals. What are they? I have enlisted here, that is the from the unicellular organism to the multicellular organism as well as the great organism on the earth, that is human. First one is the amoeboid movement or amoeboid locomotion. What happens in amoeboid locomotion? We know that amoeba are irregular in shape. Okay, so for the locomotion, it will concentrate its cellular part in one side and form a structure which is known as pseudopodia. Here have two terms, that is pseudo and another is podia. Pseudo mean false and podia mean foot. So it will produce a false foot which create or help to move or locomote from one place to another. And this type of locomotion happens due to the cell gel theory. What is cell gel theory? The cellular part or the cytoplasm is gel-like structure. These cellular part are concentrated to one side to produce a special structure which is known as pseudopodia, which helps to move from one place to another place. And this is observed in the example, this is observed in amoeba. Okay, so this is the first type of locomotion in an unicellular organisms like amoeba. The second one is the ciliary locomotion. In ciliary locomotion, there have also a special structure. From the name we can guess, that is the cilia. Number 2 is the ciliary locomotion. So what happens in ciliary locomotion? Ciliary locomotion, first the example, ciliary locomotion are observed in paramecium. Okay, what it look like? It look like this. Like this structure, and these spines or hair-like structures are known as cilia. By the movement of these cilia, they can move in the water. They live in water and they can move in the water by the help of these cilia. These cilia are moving towards, then it will came to the backward direction. When it is moved backwards, it will move to the forward direction. Okay, so this is the ciliary locomotion in case of paramecium. The third one is the flagellar locomotion. Flagellar locomotion, another part of the lower class of organism, that is, third is a flagellar locomotion. This is observed in example Euglena. Okay, so what happens? The Euglena is look like like this structure, and this tail-like structure is known as flagella. In singular, this is called flagellum. So this beating of this flagellum is helped to move the organism or the euglena to the forward and backward movement, and this flagella beats 12 beats per seconds. How it is? Like, this is the organism, okay, and this is the flagellum. Now it will move like this, like this, like this, like this. First it will move for the movement this direction, and next to it, it will move to the backward direction in both sides. That's how it will move into the water. So this is the flagellar locomotion in case of euglena. Next one is the swimming in fish. We know fish also live in water, so they have to swim inside the water, but they don't have this cilia or flagella like structure. So what they have? 5 swimming in fish. Okay, so swimming in fish, they have the part that is, number 1 is the muscle, number 2 is the fins. By these two parts of the fish, it will swim inside the water. An additional advantage in case of fish, their body is streamlined structure. How? We know fish are look like this. So this streamlined body structure help to move into the water easily. Okay, so in the muscle, there have special muscle which is known as myotome muscle, which present if this is a face and if this is the vertebral column, this myotome muscle, and from the vertebral column these are the bones, and the myotome muscles are present through the vertebral column in the both side of the vertebral column. Okay, both side of the vertebral column, and it will help to locomote and movement of the body from the head to the end of the tail part. These are distributed from the head to the tail part. First. Second one is the fins. They have 7 pairs of fins. Okay, sorry, 7 fins. 7 fins. 2 of them are pairs and other 3 fins. What are they? They are mainly the caudal fin, which is most important part for the swimming, then the anal fin, then the dorsal fin. And in case of pair, they have pectoral and pelvic. These are the fins present in the fish. So these three fins, that is caudal, anal and dorsal fin, are responsible for the swimming. How? These caudal fins, that is the tail part, which help to change in direction. Okay, so these caudal fins help to change in direction inside the water. Next one is the anal and dorsal fin help in stand or static condition in water, in slow swimming or in stand position. Okay, so these are the fins, or the fins help in the swimming or the locomotion of the fish. These are the parts. That is, first is the martum muscle and second is the fin. So this is about the swimming in fish. Now next come to the flight in birds. So birds are the avian, so they do not stay in water or live in water, they live in land and they fly in the sky. 6 is the flight in birds. Okay, so flight in birds, of course in birds the first one is the help in flying, that is wing. Second one is the feathers, and third one is the body shape or body structure. Okay, so first one, that is wings, which is the modification of the forelimbs. In case of human, the hands are the forelimbs. In case of birds, the forelimbs are converted into wings. These wings are contain the feather, which will help in flying. These feathers are from the feathers, the important feathers, that is called remiges. Remiges, which present in number of 26, 13 in each wing. Okay, so these remiges are main role or play the main function in the time of flying. The second one, which the long feathers, these are also longs and these are also long feathers present in tail, which are called rectrices. Okay, so these are the feathers are present and which help in the flying of the bird. The third one is the body structure. Of course, they have also streamlined body, and also their body have few modifications, like they have special alveolar sac, Number one. Number two, for their light weight of the body, their bones also contain airs. Okay. And third one, that is the muscle. They have major muscles, that is pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. Okay, so they have these special muscles which will help to flying in the sky, and they are the very strong muscle which cannot stop or get tired in the frequent. Okay, so these are the flight in birds, and these are the parts which help in the flight in the sky of the birds. Now next one is the locomotion in human. In locomotion in human, we know that human locomote through the legs, and these legs are the hind limbs. Locomotion in human. Okay, so first one in the locomotion which will help, that is hind limbs, which is known as legs. Okay, additionally help the joints and the muscles. Okay, we know that hind limbs are the legs. So what is joint? If I draw a structure of joint in human, like our joints, that is knee, elbow, these are the joints. If this is the joint, so this is the structure of a joint, which okay, so first this is the bone, and inside the bone there is present bone marrow. This is the bone marrow. Okay, and between two joints of the bone there have a special fluid which is known as synovial fluid. And these joints and the synovial fluid is covered by a membrane which is called synovial membrane. Okay, this, and the edges of the two bone, this red color, which is protected by cartilage, which is act as a cushion like structure and avoid the friction of the bones. Now this outer part, which is known as ligament. We know that bone and bone are joined through the ligaments, and bones are joined with the muscle with the tendon. So these bones are joined with the ligaments. This is the joint. And in case of human, that there have two joints are responsible for the locomotion or the movement. What are they? They are, number one, they are ball socket joint, Number one is the ball and socket joint. Number two is the hinge joint. So what is the example of ball socket joint? Ball socket joint, first criteria is it can move all directions. How? Or rotational direction. How? What is the example? Example is the hip joint and shoulder joint. Hip joint is called the pectoral girdle and shoulder joint is known as pelvic girdle. So this pelvic girdle and pectoral girdle bone are known as the ball and socket joint, which we can move from this part of the body is the pectoral joint, and in the hip region which is known as pelvic girdle. We can move our hand in allward direction from the shoulder. So this is the example of ball socket joint. Next one is the hinge joint, which is only move in one direction. How? Example, the knee and elbow. These are the two joints. We can move our hand by these directions only, not the opposite direction. We cannot move it to the opposite side of the elbow. Okay. So this is the joints helps in the locomotion of the human. Next, that is the muscle. Of course, the muscle are very important for our locomotion or movement. So what are they? First one is the biceps. Biceps, first one is the biceps or flexion muscle. Sorry. Okay, the biceps or flexure muscle, and the locomotion through this muscle is called flexion. Locomotion process is flexion. Okay, next one is the Number 2 is the triceps or extensor muscle. Next one is the extensor muscle, and this locomotion is known as extension. Okay, so this is the two muscles are help in the locomotion in case of human. There have another criteria or the locomotory movement in case of human. These are types of locomotion. That is, number 1 is the abduction, and number 2 is the adduction. What is abduction and what is adduction? Abduction is the move away of body parts from the central axis. If this is my central axis of my body, if I move my hand this side, this will be the abduction position. Okay, and adduction is the move closer of the body parts to the central axis. Okay, and this position is the abduction, and now this is come closer to the central axis. This is known as adduction. Next, the third one, which is known as rotation. In rotation, there have also two types. Number 1 is the median, and number 2 is the central. Median is the rotation, of course, with this. If this is the central part, rotate throughout this. If this is my leg, if this is the leg, if it is rotate to the central axis, it will known as the median rotation, and if it is move away from the central axis, this will be known as the lateral rotation. So first one is the median, that is the away from the central axis. This is closer to the central axis. Okay, so these are the different postures or locomotory steps in case of human, that is flexion, extension, abduction, adduction and rotation. These are the different steps and different muscles involved in the locomotion. Besides this part, in human locomotion, another part which is the central nervous system and sense organ involved in the locomotion in human. What are they? The first one is the, of course we know in and already studied in the or discussed in the nervous system. That is, the human brain have three parts: forebrain, hindbrain and midbrain. In the hindbrain there have three parts, that is cerebellum, medulla oblongata and pons. This cerebellum part is responsible for the cerebellum is responsible for the balancing body, where body in the movement, body balancing. Okay, how this will help the body to balance when we are running or walking. One. Number two is the central canal of the inner ear. Okay, central canal of the inner ear, which is called known as also, that is cochlear. The fluid inside the central canal, which will help in the locomotion, the fluid inside the central canal, which will help in the locomotion of the body. When the body is locomotory phase, it will driven out or balancing body by the movement of this special fluid. Okay, so these are the accessory parts of the locomotion which will help in the locomotion in human. So that's all for the today's live. If you have any doubts, you may ask in our comment section, and you may subscribe our YouTube channel to get such more informative live classes and recorded videos. Thank you.